Cases of COVID-19 have been reported. Both the people concerned are recent arrivals already in managed isolation facilities. One is a man in his 30s from India who arrived on June the 15th on the same flight as a positive case. The Director General of Health, Ashley Bloomfield, says the other is a teenager who arrived on June the 13th from Pakistan with family members who have tested negative thus far.
The teenager has been interviewed thoroughly to make sure we can identify any other potential contacts and take appropriate action. We're calling that everybody coming in on that flight from Melbourne into Auckland is going into managed isolation, so they are captured in our managed isolation facilities where they are all being tested twice.
Ashley Bloomfield, the country now has 9 active cases. The Mayor of Rotorua says she's been assured the management of 2 hotels for COVID-19 isolation will be watertight. The hotels, which had been closed, will be used as facilities for people returning to New Zealand. The MP for Rotorua, Todd McClay, says the government is showing no respect for the people of Rotorua by sending international passengers there at short notice. However, Steve Chadwick says local iwi, the police, the District Health Board and the council were all notified of the plan last week.
For our community, I've asked for assurances that the protocols will be in place, and I've been assured that the operation will be watertight. So that wasn't from government, it was from the agency leading this exercise.
Rotorua's Mayor Steve Chadwick. 50,000 people have now died of COVID-19 in Brazil. It's the world's second highest death toll from the virus after the United States. The BBC's Nicholas Rocha reports.
The number of coronavirus cases in Brazil has been climbing relentlessly for the last few days. The infection keeps spreading. Last week saw 4 consecutive days of more than 1,200 fatalities. But cities like Sao Paulo and Rio de Janeiro have started to move. This is what President Jair Bolsonaro has campaigned for from the very beginning. He's repeated more than once that unemployment and hunger resulting from the lockdowns is as deadly as coronavirus. Mr. Bolsonaro has long admired Donald Trump, and now their countries are exclusive members of a club nobody wants to join.
Nicholas Rocha reporting. The Trump administration says it's preparing for a second wave of the pandemic despite continually playing down a recent surge in new cases. Several states are currently experiencing record highs in new cases, weeks after they began reopening and easing social restrictions. Vice President Mike Pence has said no second wave is currently happening, but the White House's trade advisor Peter Navarro says the administration is not ruling anything out.
You prepare for what can possibly happen. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but of course you prepare. And I'll tell you what, we're a lot more prepared under this president than we were when China foisted this on us to begin with. And let's not forget that.
There have now been almost 2.3 million recorded COVID-19 cases in America and 120,000 deaths from the disease. The Auckland Council is urging the government to fast-track its request to take more water from the Waikato River. It's been 7 years since the council's water company, Watercare, made the application to the Waikato Regional Council. Now the city is experiencing a serious drought, and Mayor Phil Goff wants the Environment Select Committee to implement the request through the COVID-19 recovery bill.
This project is absolutely essential. The long-term forecast for weather is that we will have less than average rain during winter and spring, and that makes very real the prospect of severe water restrictions come this summer. And that affects obviously Auckland, but it also affects the region and the Waikato. It affects the whole country with the loss of productivity, the loss of jobs.
The Mayor of Auckland, Phil Goff. A man's hand has been severed in an attack at a service station in the Bay of Plenty town of Kaniatua. It happened on the forecourt of a Gull station yesterday afternoon. Matthew Chinnison reports.
The police say the 27-year-old man whose hand was severed also suffered serious head injuries. He is now in hospital in a serious but stable condition. The police want to speak to anyone who saw a black Great Wall ute in the area yesterday. Even though the attack occurred in a public place, the public are not thought to be at further risk. This is Matthew Chinnison.
2 bars and a liquor store in West Auckland have had their licences suspended for 48 hours for selling alcohol to a minor. During a sting last August, a 17-year-old bought alcohol from the Te Atatu Tavern, the Good Home in Henderson, and West Liquor All Seasons in Te Atatu. As well as being required to close for 2 days, the establishment's duty managers have been handed 28-day suspensions from the Waitakere Licensing Trust. And that's the news.
New details emerge of the police shooting in Massey.
The other police officer was shot at more than a dozen times.
Staff numbers are ramped up to keep track of border arrivals.
This is a government that again and again, when it comes to quarantine, is getting it wrong.
And K-pop stars trump the president.
There is so much omelette on the faces of Donald Trump's senior campaign staff.
Breakfast Radio. Morning report, weekdays from 6, on air and online. Then on 9 to noon, more questions over whether the country's border management of COVID-19 is watertight. And after 10, a look at the depths of corruption plaguing Mexico and Central America and the relationship to US-bound migrant caravans. Join me, Catherine Ryan, on 9 to noon after morning report on RNZ National.
We have a freshly updated short forecast through from Med Service. Came through about half an hour ago, taking us through to midnight tomorrow, Tuesday. So for Northland and Auckland, north of the city, cloudy periods, few showers. Remainder of Auckland, also western areas from Waikato all the way to Wellington. Sign apart from cloudy areas around Wellington today. Coromandel Peninsula, cloudy periods, isolated showers. Bay of Plenty in the central high country. Fine, cloudy periods from tomorrow afternoon. There could be a shower or two around Tauranga. Gisborne and Hawke's Bay, mostly cloudy. Showers becoming isolated tomorrow afternoon. Waited Upper, mostly cloudy. Patchy drizzle clearing tomorrow afternoon. Nelson, fine today. Areas of cloud tomorrow. Coastal Marlborough and Canterbury Plains from Ashburton northwards. Mostly cloudy, patchy drizzle. For the rest of the South Island, mostly fine. Low cloud or fog in some inland valleys. Cloudy periods for coastal Southland from tomorrow afternoon. Patchy rain as well. Chatham Islands, mostly cloudy with a shower or two. Nearly 2:07. We'll have news and weather again at 3.
And Jesse Mulligan with you till 3:45. 2101 is the text number if you'd like to get in touch today, or jesse@rnz.co.nz. That email address, by the way, is where to send your recipe requests to, although I will say I've already got a stack of them. If you've eaten something particularly delicious on the regular from a cafe or restaurant and you'd like to know how to make it at home, I'm now offering a service on Monday afternoon whereby I track down the cafe owner or chef and get that recipe for you. Today we're in Hamilton, Kirikiriroa, with Brenton Hahn from Scott's Epicurean. He's going to tell us how to make spaghetti aglio olio. Linda Burgess on TV shortly, and also this hour we're talking to Professor James Flynn. He's our Monday expert.